This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team, I here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard time, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team, I here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like,
Yo, what's up, everybody? Let me make sure that my audio is good. Yo, what's up, everybody? Make sure my audio is good. All right, excuse me. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh man. All right, so gotta start off the show, man, with some pretty sad news, bro. It's sad to me. Getting a little emotional right now, because man, this I just found out some news that made it even worse. Shout out Rail. I'm gonna get your member updated screen as soon as possible, man. I have to go through this like anyway. It's kind of it's not a big deal, but it's annoying. So that's why I only do it once a month. Appreciate the member upgrade. Shout out to Cordell. We got nephew in the building. It says R.I.P. Lamar Wilson. Donkey says mock draft time, baby. I hope we're doing the mock draft. We're not doing the mock draft. Listen, I'm not in the mood. What's up, Sion? I'm not in the mood for like ridiculousness today. So, all right. So I found out. Shout out to nephew, man. Eric in the chat. He sent me a DM, and he told me that a YouTuber by the name of Lamar Wilson had passed away, and it just came out today. So I just found out. Turns out that he died almost a month ago. And I just found out that he committed suicide. He committed suicide, man. This guy was like, you would never know that he was struggling. And, we talk about, and when you have people that's in your family, right? Or you've had people in your life that have dealt with thoughts of doing that stuff, it's tough, man. I have never really been that person. I've never been that. I mean, you go through hard times and you think about maybe it'd just be better if I wasn't here. But then I've never been one to like dwell on that stuff, right? And so the song that we play, when y'all ask for Lamar Wilson, that's the song from his YouTube channel. And it hits kind of hard too, because when my son was smaller, he'll be 16 next month, and when he was little, sometimes we would watch Lamar Wilson. You know what I mean? He was like I'll show you who he was. But to find out what happened is like, because you legit never know, man. Somebody could be smiling right in your face, bro, and you have no idea what they're really going through. You have no clue. So this is Lamar Wilson. He was a guy that did like reviews and stuff, and you can see that he would do like tech reviews. He started off doing tech reviews, and he was huge. Like he was big. He had over 3 million subscribers on YouTube. And I don't know if he ever did YouTube full time, but he started doing like these shorts and stuff like that. And I just saw in people, he actually, like I said, he died a month ago. The cause of death just dropped today, because he's been dead for almost a month. Excuse me, y'all. He's been dead for almost a month, and it's like, and then you find out, I'm thinking immediately that it's something, maybe some complications with some health condition that he's going through, and it turns out that it was suicide, man. And that is like, yo, bro, because it's one of them things that you just don't know. Like, you have no idea what's going on. You have no idea what people are going through. And it seems like that people are able to hide it real good. You know what I mean? You talk to somebody, and then the next thing you know, right? So, and the fact that we didn't know for a month is crazy. So anyway, wow, man. So, and I'm like, I thought about it too. Like, so this is the song.
He's the funniest guy who gets the job done. Likes how-tos, renovates, so fun. Man, he's so crazy, better pick up the fun. Lamar Wilson.
And you guys can look up his channel. It's probably still around. But he had like the catchiest theme song on YouTube, bro. And I didn't know the guy, right, obviously, but I felt like I kind of knew him through the screen. And then to find out that you are 48. That's 2 years older than me. And the first thing I thought of was, man, what happened to him? And how, I have to start thinking about my health, and how you feel good, but you never really know what's going on, right? So my wife has been bugging me to go to the doctor and make an appointment. And then, I have the test that all men have to do, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's just, I just literally, as the song was playing to open the show, I looked and saw that coming from actual people, that it was he died by suicide, which means that he chose not to be here anymore. And that is a tough thing, man. You know what I'm saying? You only get one. You only get one life. And to decide that you don't want it anymore is tough, bro. Like, you gotta, like, what is somebody going through that they feel like that they don't want to be here anymore? So anyway. All right, let me get myself together, man. I'm gonna let's have like a brief intermission. And then I'll be right back. Just give me a few minutes. All right. I might be in and out of it today. Like I said, man, I didn't know the guy, but I felt like I knew him. So anyway, man, oh man. Especially when something like, when you have a moment with like your child or something, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to my son about stuff that he remembers and stuff that he doesn't. And, how parents like to bring up back, like when you were little, and how when our kids become teenagers, some of them don't want to hear that. Like when I was little, because they're growing up and they're going through things. And I told him, I said, the reason that parents do that is because we remember everything, right? We were there from the very beginning, your first steps, your first words, your first day of school. You don't remember all of that. So we got to see, right, the very beginning. And then if he ever decides to have children, he'll have that same experience. But where your kid may not remember things before first grade or whatever, outside of a few instances, we got to see, this baby become a young person, and then this young person become a young adult. And so it hits us a little differently than it may hit them, and something that you can't really experience until you have children, right? So anyway, man, just got the news. Like I said, I knew about it, and I just instantly thought it was something health related, but he just decided that he didn't want to be here anymore. So that is, but if anybody is going through that, and I took the 988 thing off of here, and I should have left it on here. You can just dial 988. You know what I'm saying? Just give it a second thought. Give it a second thought. Remember that there's somebody that always cares about you. And I know that's tough to say. It's tough to say because you don't feel like that in the moment. You know what I'm saying? You don't feel like that, and it really hits, because I've had people in my family. I've had people in my family, man, and it's tough. Thankfully, nothing, we was able to catch it. But when you hear somebody say that, you're just like, wow, man, and it's nothing that you can do. And, that's like one thing you have to realize is there's nothing you can do. You don't understand. There's nothing you could say. You just got to be there for them and help them get the right help. Oh, man. So if anybody is having any type of struggles, man, 9-8, reach out to somebody, please, because you won't be here to experience what the people who love you go through. Like, they're not going. Oh, man. But what's up, everybody? Hey, D, so how do we have a chance at the division? Cue ball, I'll tell you in a second. Let me see. Bro should be streaming. He having a hard time. Yeah, we look, I'll get past it, bro. I'll get past it, but we got to have a show, man. The show got to go on because we got a game, and we have a big game. Like, if we lose to the Steelers, then to me, we don't need to be in the playoffs. I was going to start off with that. If we don't beat the Steelers, we should not be in the playoffs at all. What's up, Trey? What's going on, man? Sergey in the building. You can't waste a minute in life. Love as much as you can while you're here. Yeah, you know what, Victor? For sure. Hey, appreciate y'all. All right, so okay, now I got the snotty mucus, man. So Lions got a game on Sunday. They got 3 games left, and I put in the title of this video that, like, we got a chance at the division. Well, I'm like, yeah, we do. We're going to need some help, obviously. We got to take care of our business, and we have to win. We have to win out. That is for certain. But a strange combination of things that can happen. So check this out. So last night, the Rams and Seattle Seahawks went into overtime, and it was a thriller, man. It was probably one of the best, if not the best, game of the year between the two top teams in the NFC. And it's crazy because the NFC West is about to get 3 teams. So it's pretty much set. The West is going to get 3 teams. The South, North, and East. So the South and East is going to get 1 apiece. Now, here's the crazy part is there could be 1 or 2 to 1 team in the NFC North. When the season started, we thought, hey, maybe the NFC North could be 3 teams. And then it was like, okay, apparent that the West was just running away. The San Francisco 49ers survived, Brock Purdy going down, and we kind of was in and out. And so it was like, okay, well, 2 teams from the North will come. And now it is not the case at all. There could be only 1 team from the NFC North, and that 1 team could be the division winner. We also have the press conference that we want to get into as well, and a segment that has been a couple days in the making from from me talking about it today. And also, we got to talk about Brad. We got to talk about Melvin today. Melvin getting a segment every single day. Every single show, Melvin is going to get a segment. Q-Ball says we about to go 1-5 in the division. Cordell, we just need to score more points than the other team. The Rams had the best defense. It says, you see Rams fans complaining about the 2-point conversion. I did see that it was controversial. I did see that. It says, we don't have a bad defense, just need to score more points than the other team. What up, T? Says, can't believe Seahawks won, yet Lions lost. Of course, Rams had all the ref help in the world. Seahawks had 0 sacks, 2 and still won, which is crazy. But they were getting to Sam Darnold, and that's what we're going to talk about. The guy that was just really causing the disruption yesterday. Specifically, a very particular thing about him and how it reflects on Brad Holmes. Rams fans, no reason to complain. Hey, Liquid. So here's the deal, bro. I did not watch the game because I was watching Thursday Night Football. But I kept up on it with my phone, and I'm seeing that the Pistons was losing. Then they come back, and it goes overtime. And I heard about it. I heard everybody complaining about it, that I know the Mavs shot a bunch of free throws, and I was kind of glad I didn't watch it because one of the things about practice report out. Okay, cool. Thank you, sir. One of the things about basketball that's been a deterrent for me watching it was not only the Pistons suck, right? But it's like how soft the game has become now. It is super duper soft. So it's like, yo, do I really want to spend my time watching this? They play every other day, mostly. And is it this soft? I mean, even now, watching the Pistons, I'm like, okay, it depending on what teams you play, it's even worse. So like when the Pistons were playing the New York Knicks, in the playoffs last year, I'm like, yo, this is basketball. This is what basketball is. And I'm old enough to be, I remember the Bad Boys. Like I was a preteen when the Bad Boys was playing. Joe Dumars is my favorite NBA player. You know what I'm saying? So I remember them guys. Isaiah Thomas, Magic Johnson, like that kind of mid to late era, early 90s Pistons. You know what I'm saying? I was there for Grant Hill, the logo change. You know what I'm saying? The teal jerseys, which the red jersey was my favorite out of that. So I was there for all that. The Malice in the Palace, the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I heard that it was a pretty, like the referee was crazy. I think it flies over some heads that we're going to have the number one offense again. Hey, you know what, Cordell? It flies over our heads, bro, because the defense sucks so bad. It sucks so bad, man. Traveling like crazy. Yeah, you know what, Trey? You know what I noticed? I noticed that I'm like, what's a travel? What's a carry? Like, you know what I'm saying? What's a double dribble? I have noticed that it seems like it's a lot more. I don't even know if carry is like how often they call it, because it seems like there's a lot of that going on. Remember back in the day, there was no 3-point line, which is crazy. Could you imagine like no 3, man? Let me see. Carrying all day. Half the mofos in the NBA need to get a Grammy for their bro. I was so happy when they brought up like you can get a technical foul or whatever for flopping or whatever it is. I'm like, they need to. Oscar women for sure. Grant Hill shoes, the best. Hey, what are the most expensive shoes that you've ever had? And we'll get into Lions. The most expensive shoes I think I've ever had. I've never owned a pair of Jordans, ever. My brother, I call him my brother. He bought me a pair of Penny Hardaways, bro, in the early to mid 90s. And they had to be about 100 and something. They was like 150 plus. That was the most expensive shoes I've ever owned as far as gym shoes. What up, Crown? What's good with you? It says, for whatever reason, the last 4 teams that took more shots downfield on us more than most of the season. Yeah, the Lions gave up a bunch of points. My work boots, bro, 400 just for the boots. That is crazy. That's crazy. Don't know if this counts Red Wings 3-something. And I think it's because Kirby is not out there. Yes, I believe that. So speaking of that, Dan Campbell, we got his whole press conference, and we're going to bring that in. We also have something that I wanted to talk about. So let's get right into the stream, because you guys are asking questions about how the Detroit Lions can still win the division. All right, so let me get into that. And thank you guys for understanding and dealing with the beginning of this stream. I literally just found this out before we went. So like 30 minutes before we went live, I got the direct message from nephew, and then I Google him because I'm like, wait a minute, let me see if this is real. And it's not, because we heard that that somebody said Jason Hansen passed away, and it was another guy that ex-Lion that somebody put out, like it was a big story and it was false. So I was like, let me look, and I clicked on People, man, and read, and it was like cause of death, revealed. And I look, man, and I see the dreaded S word, man, and I just that was literally as This Is Where We Come From was playing. So appreciate you guys for understanding. All right, so let's get into it, and let's get into the first segment of the stream. Oh, and if you watch this as well, I did a short yesterday about what the purpose of this channel is, because somebody was like, yo, when they come across the channel, they like, wait a minute, I thought I was on this channel. What are you doing over here? And so this channel is to branch out further than Detroit Lions. And it is also a channel that I hope to be, hold on, my son is texting me. It was actually last month, but I'll tell you more when I pick you up later. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. Okay. All right. No. Right. What I'm saying is it was like some false rumors that come out. All right. So let's get into the first segment of the stream. All right. Here we are. The last home game on Sunday against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm going to keep it a buck. If we can't beat the Steelers or the Vikings, then we don't need to make the playoffs. And it starts with the Steelers. So we have to, the Lions are right now one of the few remaining seeds in the NFC that are still alive to make the playoffs. The first two seeds, or two spots, I should say, in the NFC have been locked up. The Rams claimed a spot when they beat us, and the Seahawks claimed a spot last night. And the winner of last night, Week 16's Thursday Night Football game, is pretty much a shoo-in to have the first seed. Like, they control their own destiny to get the first seed. And I was like, man, I remember what it was like when just last year when we would see that Honolulu Blue, and it was like number one seed. Now ours, we had to fight to the bitter end, literally, to get the number one seed. But I think we clinched the playoff spot a few weeks before. I think it was we lost to the Bills in week 15, somewhere around there, and I think we clinched a week or two later. So what a weird kind of space this is this year, to be on the outside looking in. And we have a legit chance to miss the playoffs. I think right now it's less than 50% of us making the playoffs. But the Lions, who are currently out of the NFL playoffs, have a chance to possibly win the division. Like, the division is not off the table. A three-peat would be insane, especially seeing as how this year is crazy. It's a lot of up and downs. I mean, we're coming off a loss. We have a chance to break the record and set a new record of most wins after a loss dating back to 2022. The new number, we've tied it at 15. The new number will be 16. We have a chance we're like, we have to do that, right? Because we have to stay in playoff contention. A loss on Sunday does not eliminate us, but we come very close. I think we have less than a 20% chance. It'll be like 14 or 15% chance if we lose against the Pittsburgh Steelers and drop to 8-7. I don't even want to think about 8-7. Like, that takes me back to 2022. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. I don't even want to think about that. But the Lions have a legit chance to not only make the NFL playoffs, but go from not even in it to winning the division. Let me show you how it can be done. Let's take a look at the ESPN playoff machine. This is probably my favorite thing to come out every single year. It drops week 11, which is the Wednesday of the beginning of week 11. This machine comes out, and I absolutely love it. I know a lot of people like the New York Times, and they give you a percentage and all that stuff. I don't care anything about that. Look, this yes or no. That's all I care about. In or out. So you can see that I've already gone through the scenarios that a lot of them I thought, but then I had to kind of finagle a few in order to get this to happen. You can see here for the Detroit Lions to win the division, here is what would have to happen. The Green Bay Packers would have to beat the Chicago Bears on Sunday for them to drop a game. We're then going, so these two division people play each other. The Minnesota Vikings are eliminated from playoff contention, so it doesn't matter. We need to beat the Pittsburgh Steelers, and we need to beat them anyway, because if we don't beat them, we don't need to go into the playoffs. That's just a buck. And it's no disrespect to the Steelers, but you have a 41-year-old quarterback. The only thing worse than that is Phillip Rivers. I think Aaron Rodgers was the oldest person in the league currently before Phillip came out of retirement. So we need a Green Bay win over the Chicago Bears. Let's go to week 17. Of course, the Lions need to win out. That is, if that wasn't clear, that is clear. The Lions have to win out. We also would need a Baltimore Raven win over the Green Bay Packers. Now, the Baltimore Ravens are not out yet. They are still scrapping for the division, and I'm sure if we beat the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday, they will get a boost of morale, and they're going to be playing their tails off to make the playoffs. Then we're going to go and we need a San Francisco win over the Chicago Bears. So again, Lions need to win all three from here on out. If we go to week 17, we need we're going to look at, it is, let me find it. We need a Minnesota Viking upset over the Green Bay Packers. And of course, we need to beat the Chicago Bears. Now check this out. If all of that happens, the Detroit Lions will be the 3rd seed. I don't think we can be the 2nd seed. I haven't gone that far yet. This is with us winning all of our games. So I think obviously the 1st seed was off the table with the loss of the Rams, and I think the 2nd seed is off the table as well. I don't mind this seed because the last time we had it, what did we do? We beat the Rams by 1 point. We then hosted the 4th seed, which is going to be either the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or the Carolina Panthers, and we would be favored to win that game either way, even with the defense we have. And we were a Green Bay upset over the San Francisco 49ers at the time from hosting the NFC Championship game. Now, if we go up and if we have all of those things happen, right, and we have the Bears win this game, look what happens. They are the 2nd seed. We drop off completely. But check this out. There's a way that the Green Bay Packers can miss out on the playoffs entirely. Okay, so let me go back here and let's go to, so what happens if the Green Bay Packers win this game? If the Green Bay Packers win this game against the Minnesota Vikings, who are they're playing spoiler, and they will be at home. The Skull Nation is going to be out in full effect. Then you see here that the Chicago Bears, they disappear from this. So this is not a how the Lions can make the playoffs. This specific segment is about how they can make the 3rd seed. And for them to make the 3rd seed, we essentially need a Bears win. So what happens if the Bears win and instead of the Packers? We can still get and that's what I wanted to bring in later. So we could have either team could win this game, but the rest of it has to go that way. So I'm going to pick the Packers to actually win this game. So we would need a Packers, either way, it doesn't matter. But then this is the week in question. We need to win our game, obviously, against the spoiling Minnesota Vikings. We need a Ravens win, and we need a San Francisco 49ers win. 2 things that I think could legitimately happen. I think they could happen for real. If that happens, your Detroit Lions could go into the NFL playoffs hosting a playoff game. From out of the playoffs to triple division winners and hosting a playoff game. How far will we get? I don't know. That is yet to be seen. But it all starts in Pittsburgh. It all starts in Pittsburgh. So Lions have to win out. They have to take care of their business. They can lose one and still make the playoffs, but to win the division, they have to win out. So let me know what you think and put in the comment section below. Do you even want the Detroit Lions to make the playoffs? Because there's been some stuff going around like, Maybe if they don't, that might be the wake-up call Brad Holmes needs in order to maybe be willing to do something that he hasn't done. Be a little bit more aggressive at the trade deadline or in free agency. Or do you want your team to make the playoffs? I'm going to keep it real. Them making the playoffs is great for the channel. It really is. But if they're not going to get to the NFC Championship game, I'd rather not be teased like that. So that's where I'm at. I'm ready for Super Bowl. That's the only thing. We've made the playoffs. Now the Miami Dolphins have the longest streak without winning a playoff game, and we gave them that 2 years ago. We've done all of that. We've done all of that. It is time now to go further. So let me know your thoughts down below. All right, shout out to the super chat. So that's, ladies and gentlemen, how it could happen. We got a super chat from Lupe with the don't know. I appreciate you, big dog. Says, I think you need to refresh. I just did it and it shows us in the second seed, not third seed. Okay. All right. So did I miss? Oh, okay. I missed the Washington Commanders. Okay. Who did I miss? That would suck, bro, because that whole segment would have to be scrapped. Okay, so who did I miss? I would have to I wouldn't redo it. I just do it on Lion Syndicate. Okay, tell me who I missed and we'll go from there. That sucks, bro. Let me see. I'd rather not make the playoffs if they lose the first round and get a better pick. God Monkey, come on, dog. Come on, man. We not. Are we really there, bro? Are we really a better pick? I mean, what's the difference between 17 and 18? You know what I'm saying? Like, not a difference at all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo. Now, I don't know. Yeah, because nothing happened. If we miss playoffs, the defense has given up yards, but they're not Dallas terrible, or we wouldn't be talent. The Eagles will probably have to lose with a worse record than us. Okay, let me see. Okay, so well, I was looking at the third seed. So let's say if we make the Washington Commanders win, they play the Eagles twice. So let's say, yeah, you're right. Okay, you know what? The segment is still the same, but I said the part about, I just go cut that part out. I'll edit that part out. I'll edit the second seed part up. But we could have, you are correct. If the Washington Commanders, okay, if the Philadelphia Eagles lose, okay, what if they win one? Oh, whoa. Yo, the Eagles, let me bring this in. Check this out. Appreciate that, bro. Super chat and all. All right, so check this out. Okay, I'll just cut that part out. So if the Eagles, I got them losing to the Bills. If the Eagles, they have to lose 2 of the last 3. So the Lions could win out. If the Lions win out, the Packers lose 2 of 3, right? The Bears lose 2 of 3, and the Eagles lose 2 of 3. Then we could be the second seed. Holy mackerel. Good looking, bro. I'll just cut that part out. And it doesn't matter. We make mistakes. It doesn't matter. It'll work. We essentially would have to win 7 games in a row. Crown. Last year, we won 10, right? 10 in a row. I just ran it several other ways the Lions can win the division, even if Green Bay loses. Hey, you know what? All right. It's cool. It's cool, Q, because all I need is one way, right? It's probably a bunch of ways. But if I said it like in definitive, it is what it is, bro. I appreciate that. Fix the O-line and D, and we could run the table. If you can draft well, it doesn't matter what you do with the pick. Make the playoffs. They can't win 2 in a row. Easy does it. Easy does it. Wait a minute now. That's false. We can't. You gotta put like an extra caveat with that. We haven't won 2 in a row in 2 months. Right? But we won 4 in a row earlier this year. So we can't just say that. But they were all against like weak teams, except the Ravens. That was a decent team at the time. I know what you mean, man, but I don't have hope right now with the defense. Branch out, Kirby out. No pass rush other than Hutch. And my main hope was Ahmed Hassanin. He hasn't even played. I bet you Washington win 1 game. Hey, Patty, I agree. The Washington Commanders have decided to tuck in Jalen. You know what? Yo, we might have a new we might have a new game. We might have an extra game to do tomorrow. I wasn't going to do the game at 5:20. I'm doing the Bears game. And I'm like, yo, so we might have to do that game tomorrow. Philly plays at 5. We might have to do that. We might have just added a game to the schedule because we need the second seed is a real thing. So you know what I'll do? I'll make the clean version of this video on Lion Syndicate. That's what I'll do. I'll do that today. So I agree. I because it's a divisional game. It's going to be tough. Divisional games are tough. Little off topic, but I would love to see J-Mo, Saint, and Jenny on Madden 2027 cover. Hey, that'd be fire. I forgot what I was going to say. I just woke up. Have yourself a Merry Christmas and enjoy your family, bro. Hey, thank you, Slayer. I appreciate that, bro. Especially today, man. We started the show with kind of some bad news. Shout out to Nick with the super chat says, if we make the playoffs, hey, do me a favor. I appreciate the super chats, everybody. I really do. But do me a favor to make them easier for me to read. Please use proper, punctuation if you can, because it makes it really much easier for me. This is like reading a Dan Campbell quote, but I appreciate you. If we make the playoffs and by some chance Kirby can play in the playoffs, I think it's possible or to go further, but it's still tough. Hey, I look at it like this. Whether we make the playoffs, Kirby Joseph is back. Everything you said is facts. It's still going to come down to, can we get to the quarterback? Who's going to step up when we need it most? Is it going to be just Hutch? Is Marcus Davenport going to, would it be poetic if we make it to a Super Bowl, he gets hurt on the game-winning sack, wins a Super Bowl and retires? Like, that would be like the most sunset thing that you could script. But that would be my concern all throughout the playoffs. The Detroit Lions were the number one team, the only team in the 2024 playoffs to not record a sack. And there were other teams that only played one game. The Minnesota Vikings only played one game. Everybody had a sack. All 13 other teams had a sack by the time the NFL playoffs was over. I think the Rams actually led the playoffs with sacks. I'm not certain about that. Egyptian magician with a disappearing act. That is funny. Twisted Patriot says, careful that Madden curse. Okay. All right. So we still got to bring in Dan Campbell's press conference, but I also wanted to talk about this. The Detroit Lions have an old friend coming to Ford Field for quite possibly the last time. There's a lot of people that this may be their last time seeing Ford Field for quite some time. Aaron Rodgers is coming in, was the oldest NFL player until Phillip Rivers decided to come out of retirement. And he has not seen the Detroit Lions for 3 years almost. The last time he saw us, he was playing for his playoff life. We were playing for pride, and we sent him not only home and had him pack up for Cancun to join us, we sent him out of the NFC. He then gets traded to the New York Jets. And remember that year that we put them out, that we put the Green Bay Packers out, that was that kind of last dance with Green Bay when they paid him like $50 million or whatever it is for that 1 year. And all that hype and talk the year before that about trading him, he wound up coming back for a final year. So he's going to come back, and he has a chance to not put us out the playoffs, but kind of crush our hopes and dreams like we did to him. Remember that shot of him and Randall Cobb walking off of down the tunnel in Green Bay. He has a chance to kind of return the favor. Can't put us out completely, but can put a big divot, a big dent in our playoff hopes with a win at Ford Field. I believe if we lose this game, we don't need to be in the playoffs. That's what I believe. Aaron Rodgers is old. He looks old. He plays old. And we should not lose this game, even with DK Metcalf. I swear the only receiver that they really throw to. You've got a 300-pound tight end. You've got a couple of those, right? You have your second leading receiver, I believe, is a running back. So you should be able to win this game. You've got a plethora of weapons to win. But is Aaron Rodgers going to get revenge on the Detroit Lions? I wanted to touch base as well because there are some other Detroit Lions that this might be the last time they see Ford Field. Khalif Raymond, this might be his last time as a Lion. You have the known ones like Marcus Davenport, Josh Pascal, Levi. And then you have Alex Anzalone, who said that he was going to embrace every last second of the time during the Pittsburgh Steelers because it could very well be his last time in Detroit. He wants to stay, but we know how our general manager works. And unfortunately for him, he's not having the year that he had before. He's not having that. He's not. Usually when you're up for an extension or something, you're trying to have a career year, and Jack Campbell has taken all of that away, like the Lions intended him to do. So is Aaron Rodgers going to pull an upset? What do you guys think in the chat? So what do you think about Aaron Rodgers? Do you think he pulls it off? Do you think that there's no way that he does this. We're not going to let him. Our backs are against the wall. We haven't lost 2 in a row in 3 years. Eventually that whole run will come to an end. I feel like it's still in all legitimacy could happen again this year. The way the Lions have been playing for the last 2 months, we could beat the Steelers, lose to the Vikings, and go off on another record-setting game. 17 games now, if that was the way. We have not put 2 together in a while, in over 2 months. So I don't think it's going to happen, but Aaron Rodgers probably has other thoughts on his mind. So let me know, do you think that Aaron Rodgers pulls off the upset because the Lions are favorite? Do you think that he gets his revenge? Again, he can't completely put us out, but he can put a big old damper on our playoff hopes. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, so Cue Ball with the super chat, bro, says, yikes, I just ran the machine and found out a way where even the Lions winning out, we missed the playoffs. Man, why did you go that far, bro? You went too far, Q. We look, listen, you've got the multiverse, bro. We were looking at one instance. That's all I wanted to, that one instance. I wasn't going down the rabbit hole of, because when I start doing that, I mess up and I can't remember how I got to where I needed to be. So, that's crazy. That is crazy because most of the scenarios are like, if you went out. So everybody's been saying if we went out, then we're in. So that's a false statement. That's crazy. Hey, Q. So let me know if you can, what that is, and then I can bring it in. Holy Matt, we got Rufus in the building, bro. $49.99 super chat. Appreciate you, my man. Says happy holidays, bro. What do you think about also attributing the injuries to our secondary to the lack of an effective pass rush? They play very aggressive and overexert themselves, which may have led to some of those injuries. What do you think? That's a possibility, man. I don't know what happened to Kirby. I know it's a knee situation. Did he bump knees with somebody? Like, what is that? But look, I can't say that it's not the case. I can't say it. I feel like that Brian Branch and Terrion, if you look at it, so you had DJ Reed with the hammy, you had Terrion with the shoulder, you have Branch with the Achilles, you have Kirby with the knee. So I don't know. You know what, bro? I feel like they would have happened anyway. I truly believe that. So I don't know, but that's a great point. And thank you, man, for the super chat. That's outstanding. Shout out to Nick, $4.99, says Bills signed Judon. Golf bought our O-line golf carts. LOL, they better ball out. Happy holidays. Appreciate you, man. So Matthew Judon. So the Bills thought he was good enough not to claim, but to sign. So, hey, shout out to the Bills, man. Because Lions fans was dumping on Matthew Judon. I'm like, Yo, y'all. So who cares? Why don't we go get Bruce Irvin? See what he doing. He about 40. He about 40. Bruce Irvin about 40 years old. Go see what he doing. See if he want to play. I mean, look. When Jason Pierre-Paul went like back to the Bucks, I was like, we ain't trying to do nothing. We're just not. We're not. And that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to reserve my nuclear reaction. I'm gonna call, you can call me that. Remember the evil dude from Superman 4, the clone? They took a little piece. Spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Superman 4, is like over 40 years old. So like it's about to be 40 in 2 years. It's 38 years old. So it wasn't a very good movie, but you know, they created a clone from try to create a clone. Lex tried to create a clone. I'm going to be like that guy with the long nails. I'm going to let my nails grow out. As a matter of fact, y'all be complaining about my nails. I'm going to let them grow out. I'm going to then I'm going to have them carved down to little points, and I'm going to paint them black. And I'm going to be like, Superman, Bradley. I'm coming at him, bro. I'm coming at Mr. Holmes because he playing games. He playing games, man. Bro, TJ Watt might play Sunday. Shift, wait a minute now. Slow down, brother. Slow down, my brother, because I saw, I had synced that Mike Tomlin said, like, he might not play. He out there practicing, but I don't know if he going to play. Okay, injury report. Let's bring that in. Again, the game is at... It is at 4:25. There are 2 games tomorrow. We are going to do both because we just ran a scenario that the Lions could get as high as the 2nd seed if the Philadelphia Eagles were to lose 2 of their last 3 games. So that automatically, now it made that game intriguing, and we are going to stream. So we'll be on from 5 until 11 tomorrow. So make sure you come check us out. But I have to do the roster moves video before that. So we might be a wee bit late getting on. Wow. All right. Here is the injury report. And this is coming from Tim Twentyman. I don't understand. Why is Brian Branch? Why is he on here? He's on injured reserve. Why? Okay. Taylor Decker, no practice. Kirby Joseph, limited practice, no practice. He's not playing. Awasika Harper, Christian Mahogany. Harper will probably play. Khalif Raymond limited, Vaki limited, Zylstra limited, and Alex Anzalone illness. That brother is sick because this is his last game in Ford Field. That's probably what that is. That's probably what that is. Yeah, I don't think that TJ is going to play. I don't think he's going to play. Let me see. Bro, I said the same thing. Rufus, the DBs running extra minutes tears their bodies up. Frustration makes them break their own jaws, shoulders, and hit their own men and break their arms. Wow. Like I said, Rufus could be on to something, but I think, okay, so he is out. All right. So just announce that he is out. Fantastic. Get well, TJ, but I'm glad you're not playing this game. All right, let's get into the press conference, man. Let me grab my headphones. Man, what a day, y'all. What a day. Let's do Dan's press conference. Oh, I also wanted to say thank you guys, man. We have been growing pretty good on this channel, and we hit Travis Kelce won't talk retirement. Chief Star wants to focus on the team over himself down the stretch. You think? Oh, you mean like you decided to announce that you was about to get married the same day that roster cuts happened? Come on, bro. Stop the cap. Stop the cap all of a sudden. Look, maybe Kelce needed to be humble. Maybe Kelce needed to be humble, bro. Young punt. All right. Let me bring in Dan Campbell.
Yeah, that 2-point conversion. I'm sure you saw it or
I
heard about
haven't
it.
seen. I heard. I haven't seen it though.
I just want to know if
It was a lateral, right?
Yeah, it was
and then
a
it.
team point. to, play through the whistle if you mention it to players today? If there's
it'll be something I know that Mule had already hit me about it this morning, so it'll be something that we, that we hit on. But I have not seen the play yet.
Graham made it through that walkthrough on Wednesday, showed up in the injury report Thursday. What does that status look like? And given Tristan's also dealing with a wrist injury, what does the center situation look like if Graham can't go?
Well, it's a good question. I mean, we'll see. We've obviously worked Cologne because he's been there. I know he's got the wrist, but he was out there working with it yesterday, just trying to get Graham off his feet, and. But I mean, we've worked Nice, we've worked Kingsley. We've kind of just hit all around, and we're rolling the guards too. So it's really been a little bit of a revolving door trying to get a number of guys ready because there's a lot of flex going into this game right now.
Do you expect Graham to practice today?
Say it again. I do not see
practice?
Graham practicing today.
What about Christian? Does he look like he has a chance to play on Sunday?
I'll know more today. Yesterday, I thought he looked pretty good. Wasn't perfect, but I thought he looked pretty good. And some of it's going to be, I know he's a little sore today, and how he feels in today's practice. That's what a lot of it's going to come down to.
You talked a little bit about the Steelers. I know you've said this before, just how much respect you have for that organization.
Yeah.
Tomlin's on this run of, 18, 19 straight years of no losing records. How much can you appreciate what he's done over there and the success that he's had without any drop?
Yeah, I mean, it's special. He's the work speaks for itself. I mean, the number of winning seasons that they've had and competitive teams that he's had, and the nature of the way they play football, the brand of football, year after year after year is, it's rare, and in that division, by the way. I mean, that division has been so tough for a number of years. So I just think it's, he's a special coach, man. He's one of these rare guys that he's got it, and he's been able to do it for a long period of time.
Outside corners a lot this week. We haven't talked about DK Metcalf much, just the challenges he presents, just to get out of this string of tough passing returns.
Well, he's very good, as we know. He's physical. He's a big physical man, and he gets the ball in his hands. And if he gets a couple of steps, he's still got the home run speed, as we know. So it's interesting because he's even a little different than some of these guys we've faced, right? Dallas, CD, and George over there, and then what we see with Nakua and now him, he's really different than.
Yo, I interrupt this press conference with breaking news. we gonna make a segment about this guy after this. Breaking news, bro. We got breaking news. We broke news yesterday. We got to do it today. I interrupt this press conference for breaking news. You already know. Cue it up. The Raiders get some defensive line reinforcements today as they were awarded the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, Broderick Martin, off waivers, and are flying him to Houston for Sunday's game against the Texans. Hey, everybody in the Raiders organization needs to be fired. Yo, how bad is your team? How bad is your team? All right, let's have it. All right. Your team is so bad. Y'all know what to say in the comment section. How bad is it that you claim Broderick Martin off waivers and you need him so bad that you fly him out for the game in 2 days? Everybody, Tom Brady should be ashamed of himself. Pete Carroll, Davis, Geno Smith, everybody, Max Crosby, the whole squad should be ashamed of themselves. How bad are you that you claim Broderick Martin on a Friday and he playing, according to Aaron Wilson, on a Sunday? They're going to be like, Broderick, smash. That's the only word they telling him is smash. That's crazy. We got a segment coming up about him too. That news broke a little too. I just couldn't contain myself. Back to the program.
And those guys too, in that regard. So, you got to be careful because at any minute he can go right down your midline and knock you about 10 yards deep, and then he's off on his route. So, you got to prepare. You got to challenge. I know that. You can't just give all soft coverage on this guy. But the fight's on. I mean, this guy he's a physical receiver.
And how about Darnell Washington? You ever seen a tight end built quite like him, and how much does that...
Not since I played. None of those guys existed anymore. Yeah, he's, he is. He's you don't see guys like him anymore. He's a big man. He looks like a power forward. He's big, he's long, he's lean. But when I say lean, we know he's about 300 pounds. I mean, so he's a load, and you can see his length. Man, he engulfs guys in the run game, and then just the range that he's got from his length on the seams and catching the ball and the run after catch, the stiff arm, the running over guys. I mean, he's a load. He's a different style of player that there is in this league right now.
Yeah, how do you prepare for someone like that with such a unique size and speed? Like, how do you just prepare during the week for something like that?
Well.
All right. So I think y'all told me this, but the injury report is out. Kirby Joseph is out, as we knew. Graham, Taylor, Christian, and Amik are all probably going to play, and Tristan, he'll be available. Do you think the Lions dropped the ball with this Kirby Joseph thing? I mean, because you can only say so many times, like, he's getting close and all that other stuff, right? Why not just put the man on IR? I mean, you have 3 games left. Now you have 2 games left. Like, I don't understand. You could have freed up a spot. Why even have him on a roster at this point? So I don't know, man. It's weird. This year is weird.
It's difficult, without being able to really, pad up.
Hey, Motown. Yeah, bro. Absolutely. I had a very emotional start to the segment, and we found out the cause of death, and it was self-harm. So that even hit harder, bro.
Up and just get out there and have somebody run over you. We could put pads back on Sewell and just throw it to him and let him run over you a few times. It's difficult. I mean, look, our guys have banked a number of reps, and I mean, at this point in the season, there's. Jack has tackled somebody 143 times or whatever it is. You guys could tell me Now, it is different. He is bigger, but I know this. It always starts with the first guy. You got to get this guy wrapped up, grab something, and then we need population of football. Man, your teammates are coming. That's really what it is, Grab a calf, Meek. You guys get over there, get a ball out, and teammates are coming. And that is the biggest help we can get is population of football.
Dan, what has been some of the biggest challenges just from a coaching perspective about a stretch like this where, you've done a lot of really good things but still find yourselves on the outside looking in?
Yeah. Well, I think it's as we all know, it's the inconsistencies of some of the things, that we've had that it's frustrating. It's you never want to lose, but when you feel like there's things that you've done to yourself, that's where it gets real frustrating, because we know it's hard enough to win in this league against the opponents, these real good opponents, but when you feel like sometimes you're fighting yourself a little bit, that can be very frustrating. And so we've had a little bit of that. There's a number of circumstances, but I think that what I always go back to is, man, there's a million ways to get the point across and to teach. And just because it hadn't hit yet, man, you keep going through them, man. Go find something else. Keep working on something else. There's always another drill that you haven't done before. There's always another way to say it that finally hits somebody. And that's what I keep my hope in, because I know what that's like sitting in those seats. I know what it's like to be a coach. And so I've seen it from all perspectives. And you just keep working until you get yourself out of it.
Yeah, how much of your confidence in this group stems from the experience gained down the stretch each of the last 3 years?
Yeah, a lot. I go back to the group, the core of this team has been through a lot. They've been through a lot. They've been through it together too, which is where we've been fortunate. Most of the coaches had, not all of them, but just the work yesterday. This is why I love these guys, because they don't. We just like every team, we chart everything. You mark everything, you chart everything. You see their speeds, you see their, the change of direction, all of it, deceleration, right? And it was some of the best we've had all year. It's up there, and so it's just proves the point. Like, our guys go back to work, man. They don't worry about it. They don't sulk about it. They know that they got to clean it up. They want to win as bad as anybody does, right? They're the ones out there on the field, so. You just give them something you feel like they can win with. They take a hold of it, and then they bring it to life. So we got the right guys.
The league is always cyclical schematically. Seems like it's moving back, I guess, a little bit more old school. The running game is re-emphasized with some of the top backs getting paid the way they are. We're seeing these 13 personnel teams coming through. I know you guys have been doing that stuff for a while. One, how much do you kind of enjoy that the league is trending that way? And then two, in terms of copycat, matching it, staying ahead of the curve, what's the balance there when you get to the off season? Do you always try to guess what's next and be ahead of it, or are you trying to just match what the league is doing?
Yeah, well, I think you always got your own philosophy, what you believe in. You can never go too far away from that. But I think we'll just go to the spread offense next year. That's what we're going to do. We're going 4 wides and have our quarterback, and we're good. So you're asking me that today. So no, you keep up with all that stuff. I'm always going to be. There's things I believe in and principles, but but there's always different ways to dress it up a little bit, and so I think you always have to evolve and find a better way to do it, and try to keep defenses on their heels a little bit.
Darren Jamison is closing in on career highs and receptions, yards, and TDs. Came up yesterday when we were speaking to him. He kind of brushed it off, just said he's just doing his job. But as somebody that's been invested in his growth from year to year, how pleased are what you're seeing from him this season?
Yeah, I'm proud of him. And it's all him. The amount of work he's put in and the amount of stuff that he's gone through, wherever it came, how it came, whether it was outside or it was his own doing, whatever the case is, man, he overcame all of it. And he just continues to, he's grown so much. And, he's a vet, man. He's a vet. He's a pro. The way he works, the way he digests the game plan, what it means to him. He loves to compete. He wants to win, and he's just taken off. And man, his details are getting better. When you got the athletic ability he has, and now the other things begin to come, man, the discipline of your route depth and the width and how you stop and where you come back to the quarterback, what Goff wants, what we're looking for, all these things. That first dagger he caught on 3rd down where he got his width back on it, I don't even know, that's big time. That's huge because now Goff can anticipate it and let it go before the rush gets to him, well before he's even getting into the break, because now he knows. He knows that he's got the width to drop it in the window. And with his speed and ability to stop, it makes it very difficult. So he's grown a ton. I'm proud of him. Yeah.
All right, that was Coach Dan Campbell on the game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. In exactly 48 hours, man, we'll be facing off in what is a must-win game for the Detroit Lions. Okay, so. All right. So again, if you are just now joining us, we had to got some news about Lamar Wilson, the soundbite that you might hear me play regarding Lamar Jackson. When I call Lamar Jackson Wilson, I was referring to Lamar Wilson. Found out that he passed last month, and it was in a way that seems like could have been prevented, And we broke one playoff scenario that the Detroit Lions could have the 3rd seed, but it was found out that not only could we get the 2nd seed, but we could also not be in the playoffs. We also talked about Aaron Rodgers and is this a revenge game for him? I did see a article from the Detroit Free Press, but it was about David Montgomery that the Lions should trade him. They should trade him. I did not bookmark it, so I'm not going to be able to bring that up. But I will like to do one more segment, and then we'll wrap up the show. We'll be on tomorrow on Lions Syndicate. We got 2 games, the Eagles and Washington Commanders. If the Eagles lose 2 out of 3, that will open up a path for the Lions to potentially have the 2nd seed. So we're going to that game was added late to the docket. But let's bring back some fun in the show today because it's been a kind of real solemn day. Got the news about Lamar just before we got on. All right. But we will be back on Monday to talk about the reaction of this game and stuff like that. This 2026 is going to be a big year for Lions Syndicate, man, and the Syndicate brand as a whole. It really is. Maybe I'll start to lock down and try to recruit some more talent. All right. So let's have some fun. Everyone who watches Lions Syndicate or have been watching me for the past 3 years now, you know what that sound means. Every time you hear the draft jingle, it's always followed by, with the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Detroit Lions select Broderick Martin. Broderick Martin was probably the biggest miss of Brad Holmes' tenure as Detroit Lions general manager, and I will not let him forget it. He traded up to get Broderick Martin, and something was brought to my attention yesterday. The LA Rams, as they battled with the Seattle Seahawks, there was a guy that was consistently in the backfield. His name is Kobe Turner. Kobe Turner. Do you guys want to know where Kobe Turner was drafted? Well, I'll tell you. Why am I not going to forgive Brad and let this go? I'll forgive him when we win a Super Bowl. Then every blunder, every mishap, every misstep that he's ever taken will be forgiven at that point. At that point, you've earned it. But until the end, I won't. I will hold Broderick Martin over his head as long as it takes. Because Broderick Martin was a colossal whiff, an absolute whiff of a general manager who, after drafting Jahmyr Gibbs, Jack Campbell, Brian Branch, and Sam Laporta, and you sprinkled on Hendon Hooker, you start feeling yourself a little too much, and it showed in Broderick Martin. We just broke the news earlier in the show that Broderick Martin was claimed by one of the worst teams in the National Football League, the Las Vegas Raiders. Unbelievable. He is going to play with Myles Garrett potentially, but it's so bad for the Raiders that they claimed him off waivers today, Friday, the 19th of December, and he's going to play. He's going to play for the Raiders on Sunday. That's how bad and miserable the Las Vegas Raiders are. However, Brad Holmes does not get off the hook so easy. Let me show you something. Broderick Martin, in a year that the Detroit Lions were 30 minutes away from their very first Super Bowl, this is the year that we took this man. And you know what the funny thing is I hear from Detroit Lions fans as well, the people that we took after Broderick Martin haven't really done much in the NFL as far as sacking the quarterback. And you could be correct. However, what about the people before? You gave up 3 picks, I believe it was, to come up and get Broderick Martin. Broderick Martin, we were picking at 122 that year. You traded up 26 spots to get the 96 after we were, and there's no convincing me that this man was not going to be there at 122. Maybe at 222, he wouldn't have been there. I mean, he would have still been there at 222. I have the belief that he goes undrafted. That's my belief. But Brad Holmes drafted, he traded up to get him. Let me show you something. I want to show you a man that was picked pretty much right before Broderick Martin. Where was this guy at? Did Brad try to come up and get this guy? Kobe Turner. With the 89th pick in the 2023, hold on, let me do it right. With the 89th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, the Los Angeles Rams select Kobe Turner, 6'2", 297, defensive end. A defensive end that we could have used. Now, again, he was drafted 7 spots before Broderick. So, Brad, we know he liked to be aggressive. You gave up 2/3 for Isaac Tesla, and you're barely using him. You traded away Tim Patrick, and you still barely using him. You mean to tell me that it was not a potential package, that you could have added to come up a 7 more spots and get? Because you did it for Isaac. You wanted to draft Isaac at 70 overall, and you did it. So you could have done it if you wanted to. But no, you didn't want to do that, did you? Because you had your eye set on Broderick Martin. And I will live by this. Whoever scouted him, whoever thought that he needed to be, the Lions needed to trade up for him, they needed to be fired with him. When Broderick Martin was released, they should have been fired. You can't do that. And in a Super Bowl year, because this man right here, he would have helped us get to a Super Bowl. Let's just do this, though, for fun. In the 2025 season, he's got 20, this is Kobe, obviously, 20 solo tackles. He's got 1 interception and 7 sacks. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. Now, Al-Qadim Muhammad, he got 9. They come in bunches. Y'all can buy that if you want to. I'm not. Al-Qadim Muhammad was a 6th-round pick. I'm not buying it. Okay? Let me see it consistently. So all sacks are not created equal. And even so, he's only 2 behind. Al-Qadim Muhammad, career year. Let's take a look at his years thus far. Oh, what do you know? 9, 8, and 7 with 2 games remaining for the LA Rams. Not a bad showing. Not a bad showing for the 89th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Now, let's contrast and compare that to our guy. Have you ever seen, wow, look at Broderick. And somebody told me he added Rhodes. Shout out to Broderick Martin Rhodes. I'm going to still call you Broderick Martin, though, because that's what you were when we drafted you. Notice, smiling. What's happening, Broderick? Is this because, are you mad? Wow. 6'5", 330. First thing that jumps off to me is they the same age. Western Kentucky. 3rd round, 96 overall. But wait, there's more. Let's look at Broderick Martin's stats for his entire career. Now, just for reference, let's go back. Let's look at Kobe's current year. Let's take a nice long gander at these stats right here. 17 games, and he is on pace to play 17 games. So as of this moment, he has not missed a game in his NFL career. Mind you guys, 7 spots higher than Broderick Martin Rhodes. I'll give him that. Let's go to Broderick. First thing you'll notice, 0 stats for 2025. He has been, this year, he is now on his 3rd team during the NFL season. If you include the preseason, before cut, he is on team number 4. 7 spots after Kobe Turner. And I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it because Brad, he showed you who he really want. He showed you who he really want. I see a big tray. I'm leaving here with something. I'm from round the way. I'm leaving with something. And Broderick was the guy that was the one that Brad wanted to leave with. You know what I'm saying? Don't go there. No pause necessary. All right? Now, let's go back. He has not played in a single game. He has no recorded stats, but that's not true because he has played in a single game. He played against the Buffalo Bills with the Pittsburgh Steelers, he had a whopping 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. All across the zeros, all across the board. So I take that back. He has played in a game, but has no recorded stats. Therefore, he has no stats up here. But what about his career? What about his career? Now this is when you pause. You pause to marvel at the colossal failure that he was. And I'm not even talking about him as a man. I don't know him. What a colossal failure. A colossal failure. In his career with the Detroit Lions, he lasted 2 seasons and he played 5 entire games. For comparison, because remember I said we were going to compare and contrast? Here it is. He's still on the team that drafted him, and he's on pace to play his 3rd full season. So out of 51 possible games, the 89th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft is 2 games away from that. And out of 51 games, the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft has played 5 games, 6 if you include the Buffalo Bills. Y'all remember the commercial? All right, if you old enough, I'm 46. A lot of stuff I remember. Remember Fraggle Rock. I remember. How many of y'all remember when DTE was called Detroit Edison? How many of y'all remember the phone company? It was called Mishcon, right? It was called something Bell as well. It went through a couple names. So I'm old enough. How many of y'all remember the Isaiah Thomas commercial? Look up, but I don't see anything. Y'all remember that, right? How many of y'all old enough to remember that? Michigan Bell. There it is. See, I remember. I'm not going to forget. I'm not going to forget that Broderick Martin was taken when if somebody told him that he was worth trading up 26 spots for 6 games. That is why I will hold Melvin Bradley, Matthias Jerome, Cornelius Leonardo DiCaprio, Holmes accountable for this. This is a disaster. This was a disaster. In free agency, you did absolutely nothing. And your chest was so puffed out that you said, you know what? You remember the Juvenile song, A Project Chick? He chose a project pick. Brad Holmes chose Broderick Martin. Kobe Turner was either he wasn't thinking about him or he was too rich for his blood. Y'all see what I'm talking about? See, Brad Holmes, he do what he like. You ever heard from your parents and they tell you, you do what you like? You did it because you wanted to do it. Don't put it on nothing else. You wanted to do it. Brad Holmes, he does what he wants. What he wants to do, he does. He wanted to trade up for Isaac Tesla. He didn't want to trade up for Kobe Turner. Because why? 7 spots? We could have given up whatever to get Kobe, and he would have made more of an impact. See, when you have a 3rd round pick, let me go back. I want to show you the least that you should get from a 3rd round pick. This is the least that you should get. I think he's outplaying his draft pick. His draft position, he's outplaying that, if you ask me. This is bare minimum. Like, this is the floor. He's already, this is what 3rd round picks are supposed to do. Remember, we have Kirby Joseph on our team. 3rd round pick, just got a massive deal. One is waiting for Mr. Turner as well. Then we have this beautiful person right here. Again, no disrespect to BMR. I got no issue with you, big dog. You go ahead and you play your heart out with the Las Vegas Raiders. But I got beef with the guy that drafted you because he thought that you were good enough to trade up for in year 3 of a rebuild, I use with quotation marks, in a year that we were 30 minutes away from our first Super Bowl. And we had this man on our team when we could have had this one. Come on, man. Your boy be cooking. Your boy be cooking, bro. Period. Because I only go by the numbers. That's it. Brad Holmes failed. He failed. And this man, you think I would be complaining about the edge rusher position if we had Mr. Turner? Probably not. But you took another defensive tackle. Brad Holmes has an affinity for secondary players and DTs. I'd be surprised if any, you know what? He's not going to have a choice this offseason but to bring somebody in because our D-line is ravaged. You understand? Ravaged. 4 to 5 people are under contract on our defensive line. He's not going to have a choice. But 2 things I'm predicting. Al-Quadin Muhammad returns on a 2-year deal. Josh Pascal returns on a 1-year deal. Book it. Let me know what you think. For all the stuff about who we could have had, Kobe Turner is one of them. I think he started a fire and it burned out. Come on, like the first hit scene, you win the Super Bowl. Let me see. Yeah, let's buy out Holmes and move on. Does he have a defensive scout? Hey, look, like I said, bro. Okay, so you remember when the Lions and we'll wrap up the show. The first 20 minutes was spent with me crying, so I had to give y'all. Plus, it's Friday. I might start doing bonus time on Fridays. The goal is eventually to get to 2 hours, bring people in, stuff like that. So you're sitting there, man, and you're saying you're watching the like behind the scenes, and they're showing you the scouts are like, yeah, man, the Lions don't really do that anymore. We haven't had like inside the den, a real deep scout one, a draft one like that in a long time. It's like the novelty has worn off. Maybe the Lions don't want to do it anymore. And you heard, oh yeah, man, this guy, because you would hear, they would blur out the faces and you would hear the scouts talking about this person, and then they would release the footage after of who they were talking to. We saw for St. Brown, and that could have been because that was like COVID time. So they were doing a lot of the interviews and stuff like that during over Zoom. But I'm like, whoever said, yo, man, we got this kid that, and here's why I get so upset. Dolomite says, don't forget about Levi. The reason that I left Levi off, bro, is because I'm like, okay, so Levi, I'm on the fence about him because he was hurt, and based on Brad's history, Levi will be back. But I'm also saying, okay, maybe there's a chance he won't. So I agree with you that based on how Brad does things, Levi, Pascal, and Al-Quadin will all be back immediately. And like I said during the show on Wednesday, if Brad sits there on his hands and he brings back, like Davenport was a sign that we weren't doing anything in free agency. That was a sign. Now Brad Holmes doesn't have that same luxury. He does not have that same luxury. So Q-Ball says Davenport will be too. Bro, if Davenport gets re-signed, I promise you, I will be the most unbearable YouTuber who talks Detroit Lions. I will not, if he signs Marcus Davenport again, I think the entire fan base will turn on him. If you had to choose one, who you picking up? Josh, Levi, or Marcus? I'm taking Josh just because you had cancer. That's a legit reason to be ill. That's a legit reason. So if you're ill again, I understand, brother. I understand. Them other guys, no. Marcus gets no more chances. All right, so appreciate y'all. We are going to hey, Q-Ball. I would have said I would stop watching. I would stop watching, bro. I would go to the games. If I get season tickets this year, I would go to the games. I wouldn't even watch, bro. If he signed Marcus Davenport and it was like not even for this YouTube channel, I would be like, I'm done because Brad ain't it. He is not it. But listen, I want everyone, and I know you hear this a lot. And stuff happens and then it's kind of like it happens and then we forget about it. It happens and then something happens and then we get reminder and we go back on this. Maybe you started a weight loss program. Maybe you started something and you didn't finish, right? And I'm trying to do that with myself, hold myself accountable here it is that we are 2 weeks away from another New Year's resolution where the gyms are going to be packed, when you're going to blow you're going to dust off that gym equipment in your basement, right? You're going to, I realize why it's so hard to cancel memberships. They try to get you when you feeling some type of way in January, and then it's so that you can sign up in the gym, but you can't cancel in the gym, right? You got to go through jumps, hoops. You got to swim across an ocean. You got to email this person exactly at 4:15 on the 15th of the month, right? Right when the sun peaks around the cloud, you have to hit that email because they are used to people not finishing what they start. And the reason that I brought that up is because it's only in times of crisis that we kind of revert back to trying to help people. You know what I'm saying? And then we forget about it. I told myself a long time ago that I was not going to beef with any other creator. And then here it is. It's like unavoidable. But I really try to like not be that way. But if you are, if you are battling anything, it is not just people saying that they care about you. They do, right? And if you do something to yourself, I know you don't understand because you don't feel the same way. The people that you affect, right? They're going to be affected forever. So if there is anyone that is dealing with thoughts of suicide, please call or text 988. Reach out to a family member. Open up, right? One thing I've always done is show my emotion, right? Like I'm doing now. I've never been a person to not show emotion. It is okay. It was built. I am a talker. My family knows if Derek doesn't talk, he's mad. So I don't have this problem. I will sit down and I will talk to people. It might take you might have to get it out of me. I might have to find a way to tell you, but I will talk. It is so many people who seem happy, but they're really not. And I think that we just got to do a better job, man. It might be somebody in your family. Like I said, I've had several people close to me that have gone through this. And if I wasn't paying attention or something like that, what would happen? Oh, man. Okay. If you're wondering what's going on, the YouTuber, Lamar Wilson, who I play the sound bites of, found out that it just came out today that he passed away. I didn't know the man, but that he passed away. And I found out right before we got on that it was suicide. And he seemed like the happiest dude that you would ever, listen to this man's theme song. Listen to the theme song.
He's the funniest guy who gets the job done. Likes how to's renovate, so fun. Man, he's so crazy, better pick up the thumb. Lamar Wilson.
That don't sound like a man. He seemed like the happiest guy. He was 2 years older than me. He had 3 million YouTube subscribers. Sometimes it's something going on. Just pay attention to the people around you, coworkers, family members, people close to you. Make sure that you are paying attention because sometimes it's not obvious. With that being said, man, I appreciate y'all. Thank you for listening. I found this out right before we went on, and I wanted to say that you mean something to somebody, like real talk. You might not believe it, but it's the truth. So with that being said, man, I will see y'all on Monday. Go Lions, man. And man, Lamar Wilson, man. How do I say goodbye?
The good time that made us laugh outweigh the bad. I thought we'd get to see forever, but forever's gone away. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. I don't know where this road is going to lead. All I know is where we've been and what we've been through. If we get to see tomorrow, I hope it's worth all the wait. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memories to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. And I'll take with me the memory to be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
If you or someone you know are having thoughts of suicide, reach out to the Suicide Prevention Hotline, 988. Call or text.